Yes, welcome back everybody to Altcoin Daily. My name's Austin. In today's video, I want to share with you where we are right now with the crypto market and the Bitcoin price. And although we'll see a bounce eventually, bounces are inevitable. Should we expect further downwards pressure for Bitcoin, for crypto, throughout the rest of this year? I would think yes, because Jerome Powell has made it very clear they will continue to aggressively raise rates. Yesterday, as we reported, the Fed announced a 75 basis point increase, their most aggressive raise since the 90s. Well, their next meeting for the Federal Reserve is about 1 month from today in July. And what does Jerome Powell say we should expect?
Coming months, we will be looking for compelling evidence that inflation is moving down, consistent with inflation returning to 2%. We anticipate that ongoing rate increases will be appropriate. The pace of those changes will continue to depend on the incoming data and the evolving outlook for the economy. Clearly, today's 75 basis point increase is an unusually large one, and I do not expect moves of this size to be common. From the perspective of today, either a 50 basis point or a 75 basis point increase seems most likely at our next meeting. We will, however, make our decisions meeting by meeting, and will continue to communicate our thinking as clearly as we can.
Okay. Thoughts on this? We can hear Jerome flat out say that although this was an aggressive increase, expect another large increase, either 50 or 75 basis points next month. That means we should expect further market suppression to come. And why are they doing this? Well, plain and simple, to try and combat the crazy inflation happening this year. Now, my next question is, how close are we to curbing that inflation? Are we close? I thought this perspective was very interesting. This is the former Dallas Federal Reserve President, Richard Fisher, who has been in these rooms, who has had discussions like this for years. Listen to his reasoning and his explanation that inflation isn't going anywhere anytime soon because of talks he is having with so many private companies who are saying they're not budging on their prices because they can't afford it right now. This is the former Fed president of Dallas talking about inflation. Watch this.
It takes 18 months to work its way through the economy, the real economy. Markets react instantaneously. Businesses cannot do that. They have to figure out everything from lagging their payables, accelerating their receivables, all the way up through CapEx, HR policy, the works. And every company I talk to, and I listen to every earnings report that I can get my hands on or my ear on, are saying they're going to take more pricing. And they're going to project this as long as they can to protect their margins. Look at the NFIB survey that came out yesterday. More companies are talking about taking aggressive pricing. These are not listed companies, they're private companies. They employ half the people in this country that are workers. They create 80% of the jobs historically. They're all saying, going back 48 years of history, they're going to take more aggressive pricing action to protect their margins. So this is going to be a longer term process. I wonder if 4% is going to be the top, because I think this is running longer, deeper, and the Fed has a role to play, although he's right, that is, Powell is right. Thanks to Russia, Ukraine, COVID lockdowns and other things, not everything's under their control. But what is under their control, they should act on, and they're going to have to act, and I think it's going to be harsh medicine.
Interesting. Give me your thoughts on this down below. He flat out said at the end, he doesn't think 4% interest rate hikes from the Fed will be enough. He thinks they'll probably have to go more. And for perspective, right now, I believe they're at 1.5. So I leave it to you down below in the comment section. Like always, give me your thoughts. Let's all check the comment section together. But Austin, what about the other stuff happening in cryptocurrency right now? Like the Celsius potential bankruptcy? There are millions of investors affected, as well as the 3 Arrows Capital potential insolvency. What's the update here? Well, first off, let's talk about Celsius. The good news is, although we're not getting that many updates, we can look on-chain at some of their loans and see that behind the scenes, they do seem to be trying. For example, as of about 2 days ago, Celsius has paid down $47.1 million in DAI stablecoin in the last few hours, and the wrapped BTC liquidation level is now down to 14,000 with a 233% collateral to loan ratio. So point is, how this affects you is It appears that Celsius is trying to make moves, and in addition to the added collateral yesterday, they have paid down over $47 million on a loan against almost 24,000 BTC. By the way, we can go check out details of that loan on DeFi Explorer. And I am I'm no loan aficionado, but I'll just link this down below if you want to check this out for yourself. And moving forward, just to look at the other side of the Bitcoin, because I have no clue what's going to happen to Celsius Network. Many people are saying that the company is done. And if the worst should happen, here's a thread on the Celsius Network and bankruptcy buckle up. Here's what's going to happen with Celsius's customers in a Celsius bankruptcy. Well, there are two groups of Celsius customers. One group has just made loans, i.e. earn to Celsius. I think that's the majority. And the other group has their assets held in an omnibus custody wallet. Some folks might be in both buckets, but I would suspect most people used their earn feature to earn yield. If you're in that first group, that earn group, that includes all of Celsius's foreign customers, as well as any domestic customers who chose to use the earn product. These folks have just made loans to Celsius. That means they are unsecured creditors of Celsius, and they're going to get shafted. And that's because the secured creditors would be the ones getting paid first. Unsecured creditors will recover a prorated share of whatever assets are left after, number one, all secured creditors have been paid, and number two, all of the administrative costs of the bankruptcy have been paid, i.e. lawyers, financial advisors, i.e. it's not a happy place to be because you are in the back of the line to get paid. If you're in bucket number two, the custody wallet folks are trickier. They might be unsecured creditors or might not. The law isn't very clear here. I have a paper on that group. But even if the custody wallet customers own their crypto and therefore aren't unsecured creditors, they're still not going to be liquid for a while, like probably months. Now, unfortunately, if Celsius was dipping in to the custody wallet to cover their own obligations and the funds are gone, then they're also screwed. I'm not suggesting that this happened, but this sort of thing happens all the time with distressed businesses dipping into tax withholding funds. So basically, in summation, earned customers are considered unsecured creditors, and custody customers may or may not be considered unsecured creditors, but they certainly are to the extent the custody funds are inadequate. Give me your thoughts on this down below. It is very much a waiting game at the moment to see if Celsius can prevent insolvency. And by the way, this has very much been a cascading effect, starting with the Luna collapse. All these companies and hedge funds had money wrapped up in Luna to a degree, and we're still seeing that ripple effect. Case in point, the 3 Arrows Capital situation is even worse than I thought. Liquidity providers are asking platforms to freeze 3AC's funds to recover assets after litigation. So Danny Yuan said that their team detected that $1 million was missing from their company's funds at 3 Arrows Capital, and they can't get it back. So 3 Arrows Capital has gone silent to some of their clients. Danny Yuan, the CEO of trading firm 8 Blocks Capital, called out to platforms that are holding funds owned by 3AC to freeze the assets. He explained, "We've known them since 2018, thought they were competent, and didn't think they were degen enough to lose billions and not employ basic risk management." Yes, 3 Arrows Capital was very respected, and it's not a case of malice, this is just a basic case of bad risk management. Yuan tweeted, "What we learned is that they were leveraged long everywhere and they were getting margin called. Instead of answering the margin calls, they ghosted everyone. The platforms had no choice but to liquidate their positions, causing the markets to further dump." So how this affects you is just plain and simple, starting with a bear market, starting with the Luna collapse, with Celsius, with the 3AC. It's sort of a cascading effect, and we're still seeing this cascading effect, which does continue to put sell pressure, negative pressure on the market. Give me your thoughts on this down below. We could always go over more news. There is always good news in this industry. For example, people are hiring. There is still opportunity. From CZ, It was not easy saying no to Super Bowl ads, stadium naming rights, large sponsored deals a few months ago, but we did. And today, we are hiring for 2,000 open positions for Binance. I love this. Good long-term thinking. Also, positive news for Decentraland. Yahoo launching Metaverse events for Hong Kong residents under restriction, creating a brief rally for Decentraland's native token Mana. Here are the details. Yahoo, a US-based internet media company, revealed that it will host a series of virtual events and concerts for Hong Kong residents in the Decentraland Metaverse. And why are they doing this? Well, the company sees the Metaverse as an attractive alternative for Hong Kong residents looking to engage in social activities while pandemic restrictions remain in force. In a direct quote from Yahoo, "We hope to use the Metaverse to connect people regardless of time and physical location." And to do this, they chose Decentraland. Big. All right. That's the news for today. Bull market, bear market, rain or shine, this channel will continue to bring you a video every day, keeping you informed. Like always, see you tomorrow.